stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets.
Well, hello, everybody. Here we are. I am GreenBean. Welcome to the Thursday Thick of It. Tonight, we are alongside what we've been waiting for, the beginning of the NFL season. Gunny, how the hell are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Football is back. Listen, we've been waiting for this for so long. There's really I've been so jittery and so, I guess you can say, like, ecstatic about this freaking season starting off. But now it's officially here. Thursday Night Football's tonight. We got Kansas versus the Lions. Get your fantasy football rosters going. Everybody lock your players in. I'm doing that right now as we speak. But I'm ecstatic, GreenBean. Like, football is back. To me, this is my favorite season of the year. Some people love fall. They love winter. I don't care about any of that. For me, my favorite season of the year is football season. Like, this is the best time of year for me. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. Football's back, and it's a great time to be a Jets fan.
It is a great time. Look, I'm gonna hopefully vent some stuff tonight. I have some nerves that popped up over the last 24 hours, and maybe we got to help little GreenBean out. I think I'm excited. Okay. I'm pumped. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a little bit nervous about some things. We'll talk about that. But like you said, football season is officially back. What the hell is going on here? I want to put the game on. We're going to watch the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Detroit Lions. Gunny, who you rooting for? You know what I mean? Like, look, it's early in the season.
Right.
Got an AFC team, got an NFC team, but you have a team that kind of is on the upstart like us. Sometimes fans don't want to see another upstart do well before we do well, those kinds of things. Where are you with all this? What are you rooting for tonight? What do you want to see?
I want to see the Lions come out and smack the Chiefs in the mouth. And it's not because I don't like the Chiefs. I actually enjoy watching those guys play. I'm a big fan of Andy Reid. But the Lions, to me, were fun to watch last year. I thoroughly enjoy their coach, Dan Campbell. I love the energy he brings. He's just a raw type of individual who shows his emotion, and he's that rah-rah kind of guy. Like, I would love to play for him, run through a brick wall for him. I'm a big fan of Dan Campbell. So because of that, I'm rooting for the Lions tonight to go ahead and get a W. And it looks like with Travis Kelce officially out, again, if you haven't adjusted your fantasy football leagues, do so now. You've got about 14 minutes. Travis Kelce is out for the night. But I want to see the Lions come out here and get a W. I mean, I'd love to see it.
You know, look, King Jamie is in the chat right now. King Jamie is a good dude, right? He comes, he's respectful, he's fun, he's got a good sense of humor, all those things. But I got to be honest, Jamie. I apologize. I'm with Gunny. This is football season. There's no time to be pouring sugar on stuff.
Nah.
I'm rooting against every AFC team, period. I'm rooting against every AFC East team, period. Unless it's somehow later in the season I need the Chiefs or whoever to win something to help the Jets, then it changes. But until then, straight up, I want every AFC team to lose to every NFC team. You know, right?
Except for us.
That's what I want. That's just what I want. I want it to. Now, I want to show something. I see Finnegan's doing something. Finnegan, oh no, put it back on. Can I show it, Finnegan? Finnegan, can I show that? Put it back on. All right, here we go. So, as you guys know, Finnegan's in the house, right? He helps us out with all kinds of stats and clips and everything, as is Jets Lounge Chaos. I won't show Jets Lounge yet, but Finnegan's got something going on. He's getting ready. Number one, he's got a gorgeous jersey on. I'm very impressed. Oh, he's bringing it all out. All right, here we go. So I want you guys to see Finnegan. Here he comes. Look at this guy. He's got the helmet. He's got the ball. He's got the legacy jersey. Now, too bad that's not the new logo helmet, but that's beautiful, man. How long you had that thing?
2021.
2021. And it's pristine. Who signed it?
Michael Carter.
Michael Carter. Not bad.
MC.
So that's gorgeous. I saw.
They got a plate in it though, so I can't wear it.
They have a what in it?
It's like a plate to like display it.
Oh,
So
really?
It doesn't fully fit on, so I have to like hold it.
Ah, so they don't want you. They're letting you know this is a display helmet.
Yeah.
Don't go running around with this on your head, kids. All right, it looks gorgeous. Thank you, Finnegan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw him trying it on in the background. I'm like, oh, I got to see what that is. That's gorgeous. So tonight, guys, we got some week 1 stuff to discuss. We'll compare maybe the positional groups. We'll also look at some storylines. Later on this evening, we have a Green Bay Packers YouTuber coming on for a few minutes to talk about his predictions for Aaron Rodgers this year. Maybe we'll even ask him what he thinks of Jordan Love. Get some of that going on. So we'll just get the season viewpoint from Aaron Rodgers' old fan base. We'll see what that looks and sounds like tonight. That'll be fun. Talking Jets with Steve will be here. But Gunny, to start things off, I wanted to show a clip if we could. NFL kickoff. I want to see there it is. Okay. All right. So to make sure it's on in the background so I can watch this thing. This is going to be interesting because the last couple of years we're alongside of Thursday Night Football, and it's a weird dynamic, like people come in bursts and then they leave. The game gets really exciting. You see, like it goes, you lose 100 people. It's like a weird thing on the Thursday. Think of it alongside NFL football. But we're going to have some fun nonetheless. But I want to start by showing this clip. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Mad Dog Russo is out there. I don't know, you guys, maybe you're seeing this stuff, maybe you're not, but we're going to show it. He's acting a fool, Gunny. And, I saw Gunny was in a conversation on Twitter about this, and it's one of the things, it's just a silly, silly take. And but this is the kind of stuff. It's like you see the Jets get a little bit of love, and it pisses people off. And Mad Dog Russo, for a long time, was a New York sports guy. He was, Mike and the Mad Dog up there on the Fan up in New York City. And so he's a kind of he's a New York guy, right? You'd think he could appreciate it. No, he can't. It's like and you can see it. You can feel and see the hate, Gunny. And this is what we deal with as Jets fans, everybody. So we'll play this. Hold on. I got to put it over here. Hold on a second. We'll play this little clip, and then we will discuss and see what everybody thinks. Okay, let me get this right here. All right. Now I'll enlarge it. Here we go. Okay. We got the sound on. All right. Here we go, Gunny.
Guys a little tired of
No. Well,
they haven't won anything in 100 years, and they got to go through us.
100 years.
I wouldn't trade anybody in this locker room for anybody else. I'm tired of people telling us we play hard.
Stop it.
Let's
No.
go throw Sean Payton under the bus for the 9 millionth time about Nathaniel Hackett. Enough of that. Oh,
You
the
know
Jets
who-
are going to make me hate him before we get to Monday night. Here's the point about the Jets. Can you do it on the field before we got to hear from you all summer long about how great you're going to be? How about winning some games? All right. Salah's defense against Kansas City imploded in the last 9 minutes of the game. That's a fact. The 2 years that he's been here with the Jets, they haven't done anything. I mean, I know he's come into New York City to see Ranger Knick games and has had MSG officials hold the umbrella when they open up the door so it doesn't get wet. Have you know those famous stories?
Yeah.
So I like to see the Jets go out there with a tough schedule, little under the radar, and go out there and let their play do the talking.
Yeah.
The Jets have spent all summer telling us how great they're going to be.
So, Gunny, this is where it's so interesting. The Jets have been out there all summer telling us how great they're going to be. Now, how do we know? We're Jets fans, so we're reading the beat. We're digging in. We're watching stuff. But how does the national media, national fan base know anything about the Jets this summer? How?
Two things. The Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks.
We were forced to do that because we all know that the Jets fought tooth and nail to not do it, but wound up having to do it anyway. So Hard Knocks being force-fed down our throats. And then the media talking about the Jets nonstop. That's how he's hearing about the Jets.
Right.
People like him and Hard Knocks.
He's referencing the speech on episode 5 of Hard Knocks this past Monday night, the final episode of Hard Knocks, which in my opinion was okay, but they spent a little too much time on Broadway for my take. I didn't need to see all that in my Jets football show, Gunny. But maybe a few too many minutes on Broadway there.
This is true.
But and it's all fine. You had a good night, but do we need 8-minute segment on friggin' the Michael Jackson show? But we're referencing a speech from Saleh to his team in his house. And you want to coach that guy. He's not telling that wasn't a press conference. He's not out there talking smack to the world. You are looking at him talking to his team. How is he supposed to talk to his team? He wants to motivate them. He wants them to believe. He wants them to know that he believes in them. It makes perfect sense. How could you possibly find fault? And like you said, we didn't want Hard Knocks in the first place.
Nope.
We only found out that we were on Hard Knocks, a week before the damn show because they fought it all the way to that point. This is such a ridiculous take. I want to see Jed Freely saying Russo doesn't even like football that much. He said that in the past. I know the guy, he is irritated. He's always been irritating.
His voice is annoying. His voice is very annoying.
Now, back in the day when they were the only show on, man, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all the access that we have today. It was like you just put on sports talk radio on AM.
Watched it.
Right. And that was it. And you got what you got. If they talked about the Giants all day, that's what you got. If they talked about something else, you had no choice in the matter. But even back then, when they were the only show in town, I couldn't stand that guy. I was like, I couldn't take it. I thought he was a moron back then, and he just proves to be the same thing now, man. All these guys, right? Like Finnegan says, that speech, what he said, I thought was excellent.
Awesome. So did I. Awesome.
Right?
But I also saw something in that, right? So whenever he said that, I think he also was kind of, I don't know if he did it on purpose or was it like directly, but it makes you realize that once the Jets start getting these wins, and he goes to the to the midfield to go ahead and shake their hand, he's going to, as a coach, he's going to say, "Hey man, you guys played hard." The other coaches now will realize he's in essence saying "fuck you." Like,
right?
It's like I thought about that and I was like, yeah, you pretty much just made it known to all the coaches that if you mess up and you say, "Hey, your boys played hard," you're just telling them to go F off, right? But I loved it. I thought it showed us the raw aspect of Coach Saleh. You're not going to see that on a One Jets Drive. You would never see that on One Jets Drive. But we got to see it in regards to how he engages, interacts with his guys, and holds them accountable. I want to see that from my coach. I want to see anger and frustration. You can tell when he was saying that, like, he was frustrated with the fact that he's had to hear that a little bit too often as a head coach, and he hates it. So for me, I thought it showed us some insight on this is a man who obviously hates to lose to the point where he's even hating against the fact that some other team would tell him, "Hey, man, your boys played hard after a loss," and he's just like, "Fuck you," right? Like, I loved it. For that to be deemed as a negative to me by anybody who watches or appreciates football is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's right. It's like then there's some comments in there too about what he was saying. They agree with you, and but the truth is, every time that there's a handshake and you're the loser, I bet every coach in the NFL, if they heard that, they thought to themselves, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking." You know what I mean? They're not happy. "Oh, thanks for the compliment." I mean, you got to do it. It's it's kind of it's etiquette.
Sportsmanship. Yeah.
Right, sportsmanship. Yeah. But that's what they're thinking. Go screw, man. I don't want to hear that shit. But that's what you do. And but I bet every coach out there can relate. They're all thinking the same thing. But like you said, now they know. He wants to go in there. What did he say? I just saw a comment in here. I want to put it up here. Where was he? Says, I want to F you up. I don't want to play hard. I want to F you up. And it's like, right, man. And that's what you want your players to know, that that's what you're there to do. We're not here for participation trophies. We're not here for moral victories. We're here to beat the living shit out of the guys in front of us. That's what we want. And if we can get to 100 points, then you get to 100 points. If you can get to 25 sacks, you get to 25 sacks. And that's what you do. And you beat them and you batter them and you do it as much as you can for 60 minutes. And then you walk out of the, off the field, hopefully victorious. That's the way, that's the game. And this whole, even this, let's just call it the pussification of the NFL, right?
Yep.
Even with that, the guys that are in the NFL, sure, they want to be protected. Sure, they don't want to have concussions, of course. But the truth is that the guys in the NFL are animals, all right? They're animals. And the idea that they make it there, they are the animal among the animals. They're the alphas. They're the guys that make it out of the millions of kids that dream of it and work their ass off and do two-a-days and summer and high school and all the things that they do. These are the guys that made it. They make it to this level. They're an animal. You know what I mean? And they want to beat the shit out of the guy in front of them. That's what they want. So the idea that, that it's like, oh, you shouldn't talk like that, or it's ridiculous, man. And the fact that Mike the Mad Dog, that Russo is insinuating that, to me, it seems like a desperate grasp for some sort of attention and clicks. Now we're giving it to him, of course, but this is one of those things where it's like, as we go into the season, sure, we're having there's a new wrinkle in our lives, which people are actually predicting us to win the Super Bowl, which is weird. So there's that too. But the hate is out there and it is seething. The ones that don't want us to succeed can't contain themselves, and that's what Russo showed right before our eyes, Gunny.
And I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And it goes to show that as much as people want to make it seem like they don't care about the Jets and they're sick and tired of here, well, everybody keeps talking about us. I think we saw Hard Knocks had the second highest views ever for episode 1 in the history of the show. But everybody will tell you they don't care about Hard Knocks. They're not watching Hard Knocks. You're lying. You're lying. The New York Jets interest you. You don't want to admit it to anyone or to yourself, but they interest you. To some people, they worry you. But again, as fans, you got to go ahead and hold the ground and never show weakness. But it's great to be on this side of it. We're the ones usually that will never admit to the Buffalo Bills that we're watching their games, hoping they lose. And man, we got to face off against these guys. We're freaking out. We're worried. Now you're looking at us, and people are worried about us, and I like it. I like it to be the change in narrative, so to speak. And I can't wait for game 1 to get here for us to start implementing some individuals' fears into reality.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. So we have some sort of national anthem or some lady screaming on the screen in my house over here. So that means football's about to start. I see guys in jerseys on the sideline. There's fans in the stands. This is an exciting night, everybody. Week 1 of the NFL season, game 1 of the NFL season is upon us. And that is some exciting stuff. We were on the Thursday thick of it when we saw Tua last year. What the hell was that? Was that an alien? What was that? That was a weird view I just saw.
That was a
spaceship. All right, I just saw the end. It was like weird. All right. But we were on the Thursday thick of it all last year during the games. And we were watching it when that happened to Tua with the concussion, the really scary night. We saw a lot of exciting things together on the show, and I hope that continues. Not the Tua thing, of course, but the exciting moments in football. Now, as we talk about the Jets, we're going to be playing the Buffalo Bills week 1, Monday night. So we have to endure a full Sunday of NFL football, week 1 NFL football, and we can't partake. Gunny, does that bother you at all? Does that get under your skin a little bit? You want to jump in with everybody,
Exactly. I know it's a national game. It's prime time. We should be appreciative of such. But I'm with you, man. I was ready to see football Sunday. Like to me, we do a whole thing in our house, whole spread. We go big. And now I got to go ahead and figure out something for us to do for dinner on Monday night because it's officially Jets opening night for me. Everybody else gets to enjoy their game on Sunday. So I'm a little annoyed, but at the same time, I enjoy the fact that by the time Monday night comes, we'll know if the Bills lost. We'll know if the Patriots lost and if the Dolphins lost, which means Monday night will be the decider of who leads the AFC East, in week 1. So that's kind of exciting as well about it. But I'm with you, man. I wish I could just get this going here in 2 days, vice 3.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's going to be weird too. Like I get the people that love primetime games and all that sort of shit. I really do love my 1 o'clock football slot.
I do. Same
I
here.
just
I'm
love
old.
it. Yeah, I'm old,
I'm
man.
old. It's-
I want, you know what I mean? I want to wake up, mow the lawn, do some stuff,
Yeah,
have some
boom.
eggs, and sit down and
Football.
watch some Jets football. That's what I like. But so we're going to see lots of Monday night, Sunday night. We have a Friday game. The first ever Black Friday game will be the New York Jets. Did you know that the New York Jets were lobbying for them to be considered for the annual Black Friday game? Just like the Lions and Cowboys are on Thanksgiving every year, the Jets have put in an official request to be every Black Friday to be the team that time. Wouldn't that be interesting? What do you think of that?
That'd be interesting. I mean, yeah, again, football on a Friday, so Thursday, Friday, then Sunday. I'm all about it. More football for me throughout the week. I'm always going to be on board with. Like I said before, this is my religion. This is my season. So if you're telling me, during that Thanksgiving week, I'm going to get football on Monday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and then, of course, on Sunday, I'm 100% on board. So by all means, New York, let's go ahead and get that Black Friday game.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, I didn't like the Black Friday thing at first. I'm like, if I travel to see my family, now it's a whole thing. But
right.
I don't know. I think, it'd be nice to know that the day after Thanksgiving, every single year, the Jets are on, instead of, having to watch. Because even on Thanksgiving, I watch football.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So I'm watching the first play of the NFL season. Look at that run. 9-yard run, dude.
Is that Gibbs?
Right up the gut.
Is that Gibbs?
Montgomery.
Ah, damn it. All right. Okay.
I almost took him in fantasy this year.
Same here. No, I went with Elijah Moore instead when it came time to pick him.
So look, it's Snoopy says, "Hey man, we get to just relax and enjoy some football on site." That's a nice way to look at it,
right.
Snoopy.
He's right.
Yeah, we know it's stress free. All right, what's this? Oh, look at the pass rush gets in his face.
Oh,
no Chris Jones, right? He never signed like Bosa.
No, he's at the game. They showed him in the stands,
really,
in a regular seat watching the game, but he's not even down with the team or anything like that. I'm like,
dude.
oh wow, okay,
that's gonna kill him. He shouldn't do that. For his money's sake, he shouldn't do that.
I would have. If you're not going to be down there with your teammates, just be at home. Just watch at home. But being in the stands watching them,
because he's going to want to be out there.
Yeah, that would haunt me. That would hurt.
Yeah, hell yeah. So look at this first drive, everybody. This is crazy. So we had a good play. Now it's 3rd and 3. I guess it was only a 7-yard run. I thought it was a 9-yard run. All right, back to pass. Oh, God. What's going on? Nope. And they blew it. Detroit. There you go, King Jamie. He's not here anymore. No way.
No, there's no. Oh, yeah, he is. Sweet Willie Gay Jr. He's right there.
He's back?
Yeah, King Jamie's right there. He's watching it with us.
Let me see. No way. Oh, he is. Yeah, look at that. There he is. So let's take a look at the Buffalo. I want to show the Buffalo Bills depth chart real quick, and let's talk real quick about how we feel our position groups are going to compare to what we're facing on Monday, Gunny. Let's take a look at this real quick, and we'll see what's happening here, and we'll talk about this throughout the night. But you can see here, guys, this is the Buffalo Bills depth chart, okay? So how are we feeling? So look at what we got here. We got receivers, Stephon Diggs, of course, Gabriel Davis, that a lot of Jets fans wanted the Jets to draft in 2020. We didn't, and he's just pretty much a stud muffin. And we have Deontay Hardy. Look at this. Their offensive line's a little bit questionable, but, they can be good, but not necessarily as rock solid as they hoped. And don't they have some injuries? And so I think Mitch Morse is dealing with some stuff. You got Dawkins, McGovern, Morse, Osiris, and Spencer. But how do you feel, Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs with Sauce, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, and the crew? Who wins this matchup? I mean, how do you feel we rank? We played them twice last year. We did pretty good. Sauce on Diggs. We have some highlight type of stuff. But going into this game, how good do you feel their wide receivers versus our cornerback room?
I feel really good about it. And the reason I feel so good about it is, again, because of that defensive line, right? You saw Josh Allen last season running for his life. I think collectively for the season against us, he had 55% completion percentage, went 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions, 4 fumbles. Listen, I just released my prediction video for the week. I might be one of the few individuals that's not terrified of Josh Allen. He hasn't played the New York Jets particularly well throughout his entire career. It wasn't just last year. Like, if you look at the numbers over 9 games, he has like 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, an 81.2 quarterback rating. He threw for like maybe 2,000 something yards, a little bit over 178 yards per game. Like, he has not been some scary freaking boogie monster for the New York Jets. Unfortunately, we've just never had a quarterback in play or an offensive game plan in play that could go ahead and take advantage of his poor play against us. So he has a lot of wins, but that's a team stat, not a quarterback stat. So Josh Allen being the guy who has to get the ball to these guys, I feel good about it because I love our defensive line. We're built to go ahead and dominate in the AFC East, specifically the kind of play style that Josh Allen likes to play to. And when it comes to the matchup between Diggs and Gabe Davis versus our cornerbacks, we saw last year they held, I think, Diggs to a collective 54 yards in 2 games and 35 yards for Gabe Davis. Like, I'm not scared about this game at all. And again, call me naive, call me a homer, but the fact of the matter is, last year, I believe we sweep the Bills if we had a healthy Breece Hall, a healthy AVT. Not even a different quarterback. This is a healthy Breece Hall, AVT. We sweep the Bills last year. And that's the way I look at it. So I feel like we match up extremely well against this team, but particularly that O-line is going to go ahead and make it easier on our defensive line to get to Josh Allen.
See, I tend to feel the same way. Josh Allen is an interesting guy. I mean, clearly he's super talented. He's dangerous with his feet in addition to what he can do with his arm, and he can be scary. He can take over games. But like you said, we held him in check. We downright confused him last year, and he played very poorly against us. Now, looking at their offensive line versus our defensive line, I got to give the edge to our defensive line here, Gunny. I mean, I think, now losing Sheldon Rankins, we replace him with Quentin Jefferson. Obviously, Al Woods replaces Nathan Shepard as well. How do you feel? Are you worried about the loss of Rankins? I mean, how do you feel that's going to impact the ability to, maybe in the run game? Like, what do you think of that? Are you nervous about that? That doesn't have any impact on your thoughts with the defensive line versus the offensive line?
I think bringing in Big Al kind of shores that up for us, right? I think, he was dominant in handling the run game in Seattle. And bringing him in, I think, gives us that. And I'm not saying he's a pound for pound replacement. I actually think he can do a little bit better getting into the backfield to get to the quarterback. So in terms of that, I believe the bulking up of a Jermaine Johnson is going to do an incredible job setting the edge. He did a great job last year doing it. Carl Lawson doesn't set the edge very well, but again, we've got linebackers with some speed that can go ahead and close in on running backs and tight ends relatively fast. I like that aspect. I feel good about that too. Again, I think grabbing an Adrian Amos, bringing him in there, I definitely believe Jordan Whitehead is not who we saw last year. He's a better player than that. I think those guys are going to be impactful in run stopping. In all actuality, like when I look at the way our defense is built, it's built literally to go ahead and take away what the Bills do very well. It's almost as if we looked at their offense and said, okay, we need to stop this, and this. So we're going to draft this, bring in this guy, and then we have that lined up. I'm out of respect to what they've accomplished over the last 3 years as the AFC East champions, I'm going to say it's a close game. But if I'm being honest, in my Homer-esque type of heart or mindset, I think this is going to be a wake-up call for the NFL. I think the Jets could potentially really hit these guys hard and they not get back up this freaking game on Monday night.
See, that would make me very, very happy. But I agree with you. I think this team is built to kind of take away what the Bills do. Even the ability of Josh Allen to kind of escape to the outside. Our ends are fast and young, whether it's Huff, Jermaine Johnson, obviously Will McDonald being added to the mix. These guys are fast. These guys can contain, him getting around them, around the edge is going to be more difficult with us than maybe with some other teams. And I think that, we saw some of that last year. Obviously probably the best, most ballyhooed play of Jermaine Johnson's rookie season was that, that play against Josh Allen when, most dudes, don't catch him there.
He gets around.
And
exactly.
He gets around. And then it's a whole different play. Jermaine Johnson was able to grab him by the ankle, and that was so gorgeous and just makes you realize, why you draft young stud edges. The athleticism, the speed, the youth. You need that stuff.
Wow.
And that's
Did you see this,
exactly why.
GreenBean?
No, I'm looking
Joe
at it.
Burrow's contract.
Oh, yeah.
My
So let's talk about it. Joe Burrow, everybody, just got paid similar to my salary, Gunny. This is a little bit more. But let's see what it is. So it's what is it here? So a 5-year, $275 million contract.
Jesus.
Dude, here's where it's crazy though. $219 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Gosh.
Finnegan was throwing that information in the private chat. $55 million a year. What do you think of that, Gunny? You think it's well deserved? You think they overpaid? What do you think about this one?
I mean, I think Joe Burrow's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL right now. I do. I don't think he's that much better. I don't think he's that much better than the 4th or 5th guy. To me, this is something you give to a guy like Patrick Mahomes, right? I think Patrick Mahomes, he got the $500 million contract, but he don't got nowhere near this many guarantees in terms of an annual salary either. This is ridiculous how these numbers keep going up in the NFL in general, but for quarterbacks because no, I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I don't think he's worth this much money. I don't.
Oh wow. Okay.
I can't. $275 million at $55 million a year. This is still a guy who's had the luxury of throwing the ball to Jamar Chase and the T. Higgins, 2 guys who arguably you can argue are number 1 wide receivers on the roster. This is a guy who's had Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard when he was there at running back. 2 guys who can take pressure from individuals trying to get to the court. It's just, and I love Joe Burrow. I do. I think he's a dog. I love how he went over there and kind of changed the whole the face of the franchise. I'm a big fan of Joe Burrow, but my $275 million, 219 guaranteed. He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and I think this will make it more difficult for him to do so. Because when you take that kind of money, what's the percentage of that against the cap? Let's just say next year, with it being a projected $370 million, I think it is the projection right now. That's a good chunk of capital that takes away from you being able to be competitive, especially in the AFC. I don't know, man.
Well, look, like you said, Patrick Mahomes, right? He's not Patrick Mahomes, maybe,
No.
But he's the best thing to hit that franchise in a very, very long time, right? The salary cap, as we know, goes up every year. There are rumors over the next 2 or 3 years it's going to be going up significantly. So maybe it levels out a little bit. Either way, this is a lot of friggin' money, dude. $219 million guaranteed is a lot of money. Quinnen Williams, no, he's not a quarterback, but what did he get? 60 million guaranteed, 65 guaranteed? What was it?
Yeah, $65 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's a lot of fucking money.
It is.
But it's look at that too. Again, we're not comparing the position, but just for perspective on what a lot of money is. We get lost in the sauce with all these contracts. It's $219 million guaranteed. No matter what happens, that's his.
He could, knock on wood, right? But his career could end this season from an injury. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, right? But
that money is his. $219 million is his. It still counts against the cap. That's his. It's for, I don't know, man. And I remember. Okay, boom. I just saw Snoopy wrote it too. I remember him saying he was not going to go ahead and take all that money to go ahead and minimize the team's ability to keep building. And he understood that the Jamar Chases and the T Higgins or what. He said that. And I just saw freaking Snoopy say he's a liar. Yeah, he lied because he took as much as possible, I believe, and then set a bar that now the next quarterback's going to want to go ahead and try to chase. I really think this hampers his ability potentially to ever get a ring, and I'm saying that purely based off of when you pay this kind of money, that this is why Tom Brady, to me, as much as we all hate his guts, you got to look at the man, the best to ever do it. Took pay cuts year in and year out to keep players around. They got him 6 rings. Well, actually 7 if you go to count Tampa. This is insane, man.
Yeah. Well, and look, just Jets fans, I want to remind you, our quarterback, who's been to the Super Bowl, has been an MVP.
Yeah.
Just gave $35 million back to the organization, dude. So, a little different. Understanding. What did he say? He said, hey, look, dude, I'm totally fine with what I make. I'm paid fine. I'm totally good with it. Mm-hmm. We need money to bring on players. And that's what about winning. It's about the team. I mean, people can talk like that. Like we saw Elijah Moore a couple years ago. So it doesn't matter about my stats. It's about winning. If I don't get any catches and we win, that doesn't matter. Bullshit. He was full of baloney. We saw the true colors later when he was freaking out about it. We were literally in the middle of a win streak, and he's crying because he didn't get the ball, and he's stomping off and leaving practice and the whole thing. Aaron Rodgers, people say, oh, it's about the team. Money, give money back. Put your money where your mouth is. He gave the money back. Now, Joe Burrow's a younger guy, right? So it's his first. This is his second contract. It's his first real big money deal, by NFL standards. So you can appreciate that. But like you said, ultimately this will be prohibitive, more than likely. But right now you got Jamar Chase on the rookie contract, so you got a couple years, this year, next year, before you really have to worry about him. Maybe at the end of this year he might squawk a little bit, but he's on. This is his 3rd year, right, Jamar Chase? What year?
Jamar Chase is year 3, year 4.
Yeah, year 3.
Year 4.
So now, after this season, you're going to start hearing him want an extension as well, and that's where it's going to become somewhat of a problem. But hey, they're going all in, maybe, man. This is the year. And Burrow, I mean, look, he's banged up already. He's already banged up. So it's interesting. It's an interesting one. Thank God Rodgers got his taking all the money out of you. Right. That's it. He's 56 years old, so he's gotten paid. He's made a lot of money over the course of his career. JMG saying the fact that he's only one injury away due to the fact that he's the target of 11 guys on the other side of the field. Well, yeah, I mean, that's every quarterback though, JMG. I mean, quarterbacks get paid, but and they are an injury away. But the thing with Burrow is that we already lost him for a season because of the knee, and now he's banged up. Now they say he's looking okay, he's looking good, but still. You're talking about giving $219 million guaranteed, potentially up to $275 for a guy that's injured. You're banged up. So it's scary. It's scary.
It is. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. So I don't know. So let's continue looking at this. What do you think of James Cook? Damian Harris is over there. What do you think of these guys? Our ability to stop them? You worried about their running attack?
Not necessarily. I like James Cook. I think he's got some Dalvin Cook-esque to him, right? Being brothers, they kind of have a very, very similar style of play. But not again. I look at this team and what they would prefer to do. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of the running backs. I'm not scared of their wide receivers. I think Stephon Diggs is a dog. I think Gabe Davis is a dog. I like our dogs better, and Sauce and DJ Reed. I think Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback. I get it. There's that huge age difference in terms of, who they are. But Aaron Rodgers just a year removed from an MVP. I don't think Josh Allen has any MVPs in the same time frame he's been playing in the league as Aaron Rodgers. So, to me, the resume speaks for itself. And I think that I really think that there's a very, very high chance that the Buffalo Bills finish third in our division this season. I really do.
Nothing would make me happier. As much as I hate the Dolphins, I love to see the mighty fall when they're not us. You know what I mean?
Same here.
Like I just there's joy in that, man. Especially when you've been at the dregs at the bottom. Like, welcome home, bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here to welcome you. That's what we've been for so long. We're just kind of hanging out at the bottom, welcoming anybody who falls. But it would be nice to see. Let me see this play. I see Jeremy freaking out. So let me just see what's up here.
I just saw Jeremy.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
I just saw the text message.
Is that St. Brown?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that.
It
Okay.
is.
I'm
I saw
on
somebody
Ross
in there
St.
say
Brown.
DTTD. So I thought Jay was saying defensive tackle TD. I was just like, oh, man, they turn it over and they run it back. But he meant to just say TD, I think, or TD. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. This is awesome.
Yeah, so this is good. Now, again, King Jamie, we're not rooting against you as a person here.
No.
I want you to know that. But, dude,
I
this
think you're
is
awesome.
But this is what we want to see as Jets fans being in the AFC. I know the guy that we're about to bring on and spend a few minutes with, he's not happy with that touchdown. I can guarantee it. I'm gonna just take a leap of fucking faith here and say that he's not. We're gonna welcome on for a few minutes. I'll put the depth chart to the side for a few minutes. Gunny, we're gonna say hello to a friend of mine. I was actually on his show last week. We're going to get the take of the Jets season and Aaron Rodgers, maybe a little bit of look into expectations of Aaron Rodgers' former team with our friend Talking Packers with Steve. Let's say hello and welcome him to the show. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing this evening?
We're doing
How
all
you
right.
doing? How you
This
doing,
is now
Steve?
Gunny. This is Steve. Steve, that's Gunny.
Pleasure to meet you, Steve.
Yeah. So, did you see the touchdown, Steve? Was I correct in my estimation that that's not what you're rooting for?
Well, actually, in this game, I am rooting for them to win.
Why?
So it's nice to see Aaron get a touchdown there. St. Brown brothers, Equanimous, who was formerly Chicago Bear. I like those guys individually. One of them being a former Packer. So, but in this game specifically, I'm going with the Lions, even though they are a divisional foe. With me being a Packer fan, just for the fact of the Chiefs. They're what the Patriots they were. To me, they're what the Patriots were. They're that team that most fans, if you're not a Chiefs fan, is anybody but them. So
I get it.
for me, I'm kind of that way, whether right or wrong. That way in regards to the Chiefs. So yes, cheering for a divisional rival, but hoping they do get the win. They should get the win. I mean, you got two main players on both sides of the ball out, one due to contract situations and the other actual injury. You should be able to get it done. I think Dan Campbell and his staff will be able to get it done tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting take, and I can actually relate to it, man. I got to be honest. Like, it's just pure hatred for the team at the top, man. Like, I want to just knock them down. I like how you said that because it's the Chiefs. That's why. I just want to see them get knocked down a peg, and I like that too. I have difficulty rooting for my division rivals, though. I'll admit that. I find that very, very hard to do. So I was on your show last week, and you had a good thing going. You were inviting YouTube guys from or not guys necessarily, but because there were women as well, but YouTube content creators of all 32 NFL teams. I thought that was really neat. I got to be first on the list, which was nice. A great opportunity to hang out with you guys. But you talked a little bit about, what it was like to lose Aaron Rodgers from the fan perspective and what you're seeing now. So if you wouldn't mind, humoring us as we are Jets fans over here, what are you seeing with Aaron Rodgers? Is there a real difference? Were you happy to see him go? Are you rooting for him? What's your take on what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets right now?
Well, first off, there's a fan base, and for me specifically, process to the whole thing of the not offers, but at Rodgers leaving, and should he leave? Do we want to give him another year or years as a fan base? And for me personally, I was ready to move on. It's time to move on. I was getting sick of him, didn't want to hear him in anything, whether anything, interviews or even for Packers social media or anything like that. But now I'm on the other end. Now I'm watching anything he does. I was watching him on Pat McAfee today on ESPN. So I because I don't care, because he's the Jets problem now. So with him being out of Green Bay and being with the Jets, his demeanor changing, him being his narrative changing too in regards to the media. They were worried that our fans were worried, and others were worried that he wouldn't be able to take the New York media, and it seems like he has the media in the palm of his hands. So I think he's going to be fine in that regard just as much as he's going to be fine on the field. Cheering for him. Hope he does well in New York. But for me, it was time to move on. His ego, his personality was kind of rubbing me the wrong way personally. And now I'm ready for a positive environment in the quarterback room. And I'm ready for Jordan Love. And ready to see what he really is made of, and if he is able to take this team, bull by the horns and be able to lead this team to greatness or to anything. So I'm looking forward to our big matchup in Chicago on Sunday. And I know you guys have the big matchup at home on Monday, but for us and for the Packers Nation, it's Jordan Love and it's our young team, our young studs. This week we had a little situation with injuries with our 2 wide receivers, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, but it's looking like they're both going to be able to play. Doubs more than Watson. We'll see it sounding like Watson's going to be a game-time decision. But back to the topic at hand, Rodgers, I am cheering for him now. I wish him luck. Would love to see a Packers-Jets Super Bowl, all that, while he's in his tenure in New York. But for me personally, it was just time to move on. But yeah, as much as I didn't want to hear from him the last 2 years and anything he did, now I'm listening to anything and everything. And but this trade also got me to get to meet all the great people of Jets Twitter and YouTubers that talk to the New York Jets, and getting to know all you guys more and more so, and building friendships hopefully lifelong. So even though we root for different teams, in the situation that was the Packers Jets Aaron Rodgers saga that it was, and it was a saga, that for me personally, be able to do that. And it was great having the guests I was able to have. Of course, you included GreenBean last week for my premiere.
Yeah, well, that's right. And I can appreciate that, honestly. Like sometimes things just sour, right? Situations just they just turn. Doesn't mean that, one side's necessarily right or wrong. It just, whatever it is, it's time to part ways. And acknowledging that and just kind of, hey, it's what, hey, good luck. But we're ready to go this way, Now, just real quick on Jordan Love, do you feel that Packers fans are confident? Are they, hopeful but a little bit nervous? Like, what do you think the overall feeling is with Packer Nation as far as what Jordan Love can do in his first year as the starter over there?
Yeah, I would say more so, nervous with hopeful, thinking. We believe that he is capable and that he'd be able to be a good to great quarterback and be able to lead us to even a division win. I know some Packer fan base is thinking already that. For me, I'm a little bit more confident from what I've seen from the preseason. Yes, the preseason, and think that he'd be going to be able to, lead this team very well, and with the young guns and his own off-season hangouts with them. Just as much as Rodgers with his new teammates in New York. Different story, but still, it's a good sign to see for Packer fans in our situation. So, with that all said, I think that heading into this week 1, a big test in Chicago, a road game. I wish it was a home game, but it is a road game to start off for his tenure for Jordan Love. But for me, it's certainly optimism, and for most fans, it's cautious optimism, and
cautious.
trying to be as realistic as they can be.
Right. It would be something, though. I have to admit, while admittedly I'm a grumpy bastard and I'm kind of a spiteful fan in general. I root against everybody. So I struggle with the idea that the Packers can find 3 consecutive, brilliant quarterbacks. So I'm kind of rooting for Jordan Love not to be. But wouldn't that be something if 3 times in a row, the same system kind of drafting a guy while you already have somebody Hall of Fame caliber and, bringing them on, and then it works for a 3rd time? Wouldn't that be something, man? That'd be nuts upset. In my opinion. Right, Gunny?
I'd be so upset. I'm sorry. Hey, no disrespect, Stevie. It's just, listen, my wife's a huge Packers fan, right? So I've got to watch her steal 3 of 4 of our kids in terms of fandom, because in the year of their birth, the Packers had a better season than the Jets did. 3 out of 4. All right. So literally the only kid I got is my oldest, and she's 13 years old. So that tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. 13 years. But if y'all are able to pull this off again, and Jordan Love is him as well. You have to be the most blessed organization of all time because it's the most difficult position in all of sports. Very few teams get it right, you know what I'm saying, a couple of times in their existence. To go like back to back to back, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's just a piece of me that would be a little bit upset about it. I would have some hate in my heart.
Yeah, because you gotta live with it.
I gotta live with it. Right now, my daughters are all upset because you stole our quarterback. We didn't steal him. He wanted to be a Jet. Like y'all gave him to us. This was a gift. We thank you for it. So but they're upset. So my youngest kids are all upset because we have Aaron Rodgers now and they don't. If y'all wind up having Jordan Love and then they can start talking, man, listen. I just want to talk crap for once, and it actually means something in this house. So I would like for it to be not the case, but at the same time, somehow, some way, I'm actually worried that he might be him as well. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I logically speaking, it shouldn't be, but there's a part of me that's just like, man, he's made some throws, you know what I'm saying, that you look at and you're like, that was pretty nice. Like, this was pretty. So I am worried that Jordan Love might have it figured out, and y'all wind up having another one for the next 10 years. That's just the hate in my heart talking.
It's the hate. It's the hate. I want to let everybody know we're talking with I almost said talking Jets. Talking Packers with Steve. If you guys have it in your heart, I know Gunny doesn't right now, but if you do, you can go over there and on YouTube and give him a little bit of love. Give him a sub, maybe like some of his videos and stuff like that. He's a good dude, and we're gonna get into a little bit more with him. He had an interesting take on the Jets. I'm real curious if that's changed since we last spoke. So I don't want to put words in your mouth or anything, but you had somewhat of a positive outlook for the Jets season, looking from afar, right? As a Packers fan, looking on, observing with somewhat of an objective view, I would say. You're not all homered up like we are, but what is your view of the Jets? Do you see positive things? Do you see a big crash coming for us? From your eyes, what do you think is going to be in our future for 2023?
It's very helpful, having the Jets being on Hard Knocks, because we were talking about it earlier, being forced to be on there. And then once Jets Drive, that some other Jets YouTubers told me about, beyond seeing it being promoted with Aaron Rodgers, joining the team. But just from the outside looking in, I see it very positively because you got a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers that is not only a great player on the field, but someone with a chip on his shoulder and wanting to prove the haters wrong, prove even some minority section of the Packer fan base wrong, of which might be me included, in regards to, it was time, I don't want you here, go there, and whatnot. But I see the Jets, making it far in the playoffs. We talked about last week, and with my Super Bowl prediction being what it was. But not much has changed in regards to a week. I do see the Jets having a positive, great season. I see Aaron Rodgers maybe not playing exactly up to the MVP like caliber that he can, but he doesn't need to, and even last year with us, we had that losing streak, but because of him, basically, being able to fight Claw and have a chance to be in our hands, not anybody else's, Packers' fate to make the playoffs. Yeah, we lost, but, it was from where it was to where it was. So, for the Jets, I see you guys doing very well. I have guys only losing 3 games, so all that. I think the biggest question to me from the outside looking in, from what I've seen and heard and otherwise, is your offensive line with some issues and other situational things, I guess, is going on there. But if they're able to keep that from, be able to keep the players healthy, just like any team, I think that's really going to benefit not only Aaron Rodgers but the offense as a whole, and will help to, prove me right in the sense of having the New York Jets winning the Super Bowl over the New York Giants. So,
did you hear that, Gunny? Did you hear what he said?
That's insane to me.
So, right, say that again, because I just want to make sure everybody heard it. We're watching football. There's a lot going on. So, your Super Bowl prediction is what now?
My Super Bowl prediction is the New York Football Giants facing off against the New York Football Jets, and the Jets winning 35-17.
Oh my God, Gunny, how would you feel, bro?
Listen, look, hey, from your lips to God's ears, because I don't know if people would tolerate me if that happens. I don't know if anyone that is not a Jets fan or Jets supporter would tolerate me as a human being if that happens. I'm talking about like in my workplace, in my personal life, social media, like just in general. I just don't know if people, I would start getting shut out of places. I probably have to start working from home because I'm pretty sure Mitch, you know what I'm saying, or Ben, or maybe Andre would just be like, you just got to leave the office, man. We can't do this anymore with you. It would be bad. And I'm hoping you're right. God, I'm praying you're right. Jets win the Super Bowl in the first year of the Aaron Rodgers saga. Oh,
yeah, but particularly, again, like what do you, I mean, I don't know,
Giants.
you know, Steve's touching a bunch of nerves there. It's like, you know how many demons that would exercise at the same time. Now, Finnegan said, you know, the downside of that is we finally get to the Super Bowl and we got to share the New York hubbub with the damn Giants. But the thing is, it wouldn't be necessarily sharing. It would be volatile. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, like it would be a rough place to be. Even in like families, like most of my family are Giants fans.
Are split. Yep.
Except for all the younger generation, because you guys know Aunt Gina. Aunt Gina's got all the young kids. You know, even the newest, my little tiny cousin Vincent, he's 1 year old. He's every picture he's in he's wearing Jet shit. So Aunt Gina's all over him. But so the younger kids we got as Jets fans, but most of my family are Giants fans. So it would be contentious to say the least. I might not talk to people for a while in our family.
I'll say this. If it's a Jets and Giants Super Bowl and we smack them around like that, the Giants fan base has been walking around pumping up their chest, calling us the little brothers of New York for a long time.
Right.
They never played us in the Super Bowl. But if we play them in the Super Bowl and we smack them around, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Because we would have faced you in the Super Bowl and smacked you around. What's up, little bro? I'm telling you, right. I would have uncles and aunts not talk to me ever again. Because I would be insufferable to people that know me, call me family, call me nephew. It wouldn't matter. It would be bad.
Well,
I hope I get the opportunity to be disowned and dismissed by all of them.
Right. Go on, Steve.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, right now you're hearing from the Giants fan base, at least from what I was hearing, whether in private DMs or just the fan base on X or formerly known as Twitter, talking about why are Jets fans acting like they're going to the Super Bowl already when they haven't played a damn game? You know, so you already hear it, you know, I'm sure you guys obviously even more than I do, but, you know, from my end, even hearing like, you know, so the Giants being chirping, then you have the regular season game, you have the preseason game, yes, but regular season game, and if it is indeed the Super Bowl, so yeah, just bringing that up in the sense of from me seeing that, like, yeah, Giants fans are chirping because Jets fans are, you know, talking that way, yet no actual games that matter have been played yet.
Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff, like, so you're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. I mean, they've been talking like, it doesn't matter if we ever have anything to be excited about. That's the stuff that we get. We played a clip earlier from Mad Dog Russo talking about he's sick of hearing about the Jets this, the Jets that. And it's like, dude, I mean, we didn't want to be on Hard Knocks. I mean, that's we're not out there telling people this shit. It's like that was a window into us, you know, our coach talking to his team in our own damn building. You know, so those kinds of things. But that's the seething hatred that we get. And it's really interesting because, like Gunny pointed out, we share our city with another team. And it just so happens that team's been to 5 Super Bowls and they got 4 trophies, whatever it is. So, and we got shit. So it's like we are perpetually the whipping boy in this neighborhood. So it would be something else, man. It would be rough. I agree with Gunny. I think relationships might be irreparably damaged during that 2-week window from the championship games to the Super Bowl. But Gunny, did you have a question for Steve you wanted to throw at him? Yeah.
I do, Stevie. Okay, so you've heard a lot of individuals talking about Aaron Rodgers is washed and his top 10 stat line last year was just statistically one of the worst seasons he's ever had, which, again, for Jets fans, we welcome it to have a top 10 stat line and to be the worst season of our quarterback's existence. But with that said, I think context comes into play. But you're talking to these individuals who don't really watch Aaron Rodgers. They just look at some stat lines and say, oh, this is why he's horrible. You watched every game last year. So in your mind, what do you think was a factor or played factors in regards to why Aaron Rodgers had, by all intents and purposes, a down year, especially just the year before he had won an MVP?
Steve, did you hear that?
No, you guys were cutting out. I couldn't hear anything of that whole question.
Oh,
sorry.
shit. Okay.
Okay, my bad. So
Try
what
it
I was
again.
saying was, everybody's talking about how. Hello.
Were we losing Stevie?
I think we're losing Stevie.
Stevie, good?
Stevie,
I'm gonna come right back.
Okay.
all right.
There he goes. It's a nice prediction, though, right? You don't expect to hear
Yes,
that.
I
from
mean,
him.
my God, Super Bowl champions.
Well, and to say
Giants.
it that way, Gunny, like, come on, could the guy have more of a finger on the pulse of what would
Right?
really? I mean, it would be rough. Like, it would be stressful. It would be tough to deal with the whole thing. We'd be in, dealing with a whole bunch of shit. But to come out at the end of it victorious, I don't know if there's a
Worth it
sweeter
all.
way that it could happen.
Worth it all. I mean, it's almost as if he got a copy of the script. He said it so confidently and so assuringly. I'm like, man, like, okay, who'd you talk to? Like, who do you know? Like, it would be. I don't know if you could predict a better Super Bowl for the Jets, right? In terms of the climactic aspect of it, the storytelling of it, like it's Jets versus Giants, like it's almost storybook type of stuff. And again, it's a happy ending for us if we wind up, getting the W 35-17, like he says. I just, man, again, from his lips to God's ears, because if that winds up being it, man, I'm almost 100% certain I will lose family, and it's okay. I will be okay with that. If the Jets are victorious, I accept that as the consequence of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're willing to deal with that pain.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Yeah.
I will endure.
Willing to endure.
Yeah.
Stevie, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry about that. And
No, you're good.
I have you guys obviously muted while I'm on here, but muted on your live stream on my laptop. So I did hear your question. So in regards to watching Rodgers last season and what I thought was the downfall and why, it ended the way that it ended. To be quite honest, at least for me, again, being from, as I spoke about earlier, my opinion on Aaron and all that, I think his heart just wasn't in it. As much as he played hard, as much as he came back, as much as we grinded, he had some issues with his wide receivers, as you guys even saw, whether you were there for any of the training camps, or on Hard Knocks or One Just Drive, or forget which ones that both were on. My point being is, having issues with our rookie wide receivers, specifically Watson, but all of them, and just not believing in them. So then throwing to him less, and when he did, I don't know. It just seemed like he wasn't there. He was there but not there. If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think that was part of it. So now, like I said earlier, you have a rejuvenated chip on his shoulder. Angry SOB, ready to scorch earth the world as a New York Jet. And, we'll see what happens. But, I think it's different now. You still have young receivers. You still have a young team. But that young team being different and already showing in their impact more so than, of course, with our rookies with Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson last season. So you have the wide receiving core that you have in New York, comparable to the Packer wide receiver core of last season, being an upgrade for Rodgers. Being one of the reasons he went there, beyond, the coach that he had a rapport with, who, as you guys know, and I'm sure brought up lately, that when he was there, when they were both together, MVP for Aaron Rodgers. So now, being with the Jets, being back with him, it was fun to see him on Hard Knocks and whatnot. Because I felt bad for him last year. He had that one and done in Denver, and now being able to get an opportunity with the Jets, and then Aaron coming, very great for him individually. But as for Aaron, I think that was the issue last season. His heart truly wasn't in it. He'll never say that, but that's just my opinion on that, why it went the way it is and why it's going to be different. It's going to be an about face in that regard as we head into this season with the New York Jets and Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like how you said that too. We've seen Aaron Rodgers, the results of Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder numerous times. Number one, when he was passed on, in the first round, he thought he was going to be the first overall pick. He just sat behind Favre like fucking stewing, came out and was he was a force immediately to be reckoned with. And then you saw when the Packers drafted Jordan Love.
Yep.
He responded with back-to-back MVPs. I mean, the guy's motivated, as spiritual and all that stuff that he may be. He's a football player. He's motivated by anger, man. So it's good to get that version of him. In my opinion, I think that's good. Yep. Now Jeremy's pointing out in the private chat, Jets Lounge Jeremy is pointing out that number 87 is one Sam Laporta, who was one of my secret fave tight end draft prospects, if you remember correctly, out of Iowa. I was all Sam Laporta, and now you're seeing him. Look at that. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Okay. But yeah, that's right. So again, dude, you want to get your tight ends from a specific chunk of the schools, man. And Iowa's up there. Notre Dame's another one. You want your tight end. That's why it's like, look, Kuntz, we all love Kuntz and everything, but the Old Dominion, that's not where I'm looking for my tight ends. You know what I mean? It could happen, of course, but I know where I want my tight ends to come from, generally speaking. But hey, Stevie, I want to thank you for coming on, man. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll wish you luck sincerely this weekend. I am rooting against you just because, I'm a grumpy, pissed off old man. That's what I am. But the truth is, it's a division matchup against the Bears. You got kind of a young, revitalized Bears team. They're excited as well. They have some nice pieces that they brought on. Justin Fields looks like he took a step last year. So it's going to be a good game, man. It might be a game that I focus on this weekend. But I wish you well, man. And, we'll be keeping an eye as Jets fans on Jordan Love and how that all
100%.
develops.
100%.
Yeah. And there was lots of Jets fans that wanted Watson and Dubs in the draft. And so there's there's some interest. Oh, yeah. I remember.
The draft. I remember so keen on him being the guy.
That's right. Well, I got to see Watson play. James Madison University's here. And that was the he played some real nice games against JMU over here. But so anyway, yeah, he was a good prospect. But Steve, thanks for coming on. Guys, this is Talking Packers with Steve. Send them some love.
You got my number. I'm waiting to get an invite to the show, bro.
Don't worry.
There you go.
Take care.
All right. Have a good night, Steve. There he goes, Talking Packers with Steve. Not a bad take on things, in my opinion.
Not at all.
It's like you expect, maybe we were expecting something a little bit different. I got to admit, when he said that, I was blown away. I'm like, that's better than a lot of the predictions I'm hearing out of our own
Jets
house.
Fans, yeah, like I got us catching an L in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals. I mean, but Super Bowl, I'll be more than happy to be wrong about my predictions. 100%. We'll go with Stevie's predictions for the season. I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah, I'm on board with that too. I saw some Jets fans talking the city would burn down. I
mean, it really would though. Like it. I don't know how. If we get to a Jets-Giants Super Bowl, because this is what's going to happen. Whoever loses, burning down the city. Whoever wins, burning down the city. It's just one of those things where the celebration is going to be burning. The loss is going to be. It's just one of you can't. I mean, if it happened, man, I'm telling you, you couldn't write a better story than that, which would lead me to believe the NFL writers are top notch. Just top notch writers.
Yeah,
to go ahead and script that one out.
The script writers, clearly with the SAG strike and the writers' strike in Hollywood, clearly the NFL writers have not taken a break. If they end up with the Jets-Giants Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers versus Danny Dimes and the whole thing, it would be nuts. And to see that, especially if the Jets came out on top. I mean, look, the Giants are a good squad, and they're excited too. For good reason. But I really have to admit, while I think Dable did a great job with Daniel Jones, clearly because he was widely considered in his last year with the Giants, and at the end of the year he ends up getting $45 million guaranteed, a year. And I think that's a lot to do with Dable's prowess as a quarterback guru of sorts. So I mean, but it's really going to be interesting to see if he can maintain it, man. What do you think? I mean, we play the Giants this year, head to head in the real season, not just the Snoopy Bowl. What do you think about them? You think they're going to be able to continue their upswing? Are they going to hit some hurdles? What do you see in the Giants' future?
I think Danny Dimes is extremely limited, if I'm being honest. I know he brings some ability with his legs. But when your quarterback throws for 15 touchdown passes, and then you wind up paying the man $40 million a year, I got to really question the thought process behind that. And you look at his body of work in general, it hasn't been something that you look at and you're like, man, this is a franchise guy. You've seen him and you've been like, okay, this guy can play football in the NFL, but I don't know if he's that dude, right? I don't know if he's a franchise guy. And if you don't have that franchise guy at quarterback, I think it's very hard to win in this league, especially when you're talking about playoffs and then Super Bowl. I'm not a believer in Danny Dimes. Hey, cool kid, you know what I'm saying? Great story coming out of Duke. But I think as a quarterback, he has a ceiling. And I think we've kind of seen it over the last couple of years, right? This isn't going to be some dude lighting it up through the air. He can make some plays on the ground, but I think he's limited. You know, he doesn't have the size and the speed of a Josh Allen. Doesn't have the cannon of a Josh Allen. He's like Josh Allen light, right, in terms of size, speed, and arm strength. And I think Dable's is an incredible offensive mind. We saw him fix Josh Allen, but I don't know if he's going to be able to go ahead and get elite production from Daniel Jones the way he got from Josh Allen. And the roster, I think itself, is a little bit limited on the offensive side. The wide receivers are suspect, to say the least. We love Saquon Barkley, but he really hasn't been the Saquon we remember post the injury. I mean, he looked great, year after he came back. But after that, like, is there really a weapon on the Giants that offense that scares anybody? I don't think so. I think they're the third best team in their division in the NFC East. So if they were to make it to the Super Bowl, I would be shocked, and it would have to be the most miraculous piece of coaching that Dable had to put out there for that to happen. Literally, I would give the credit more so to Dable than I would to that roster. But yeah, now I think they're the third best team in their division, and the Washington Commanders or whatever they're going to be is not far behind them. I think they're on the come up as well, and it could very well be the fourth best team in terms of talent by season's end. So yeah, no, I'm not a Daniel Jones believer. I think they significantly overpaid for that man, $40 million for what? I don't get it. So hey, listen, maybe they get him a couple of receivers in the draft next year, and then he can go ahead and have an incredible turnaround like a Josh Allen did when they brought Stephon Diggs in there. Maybe, but I just don't see it personally.
Yeah, I tend to lean in a similar direction. I think he's going to be good, but like you said, that elite play, I don't know if he's got it in him. I really don't. And like you said, Dable, clearly, the loss of Dable in Buffalo, you could see Josh Allen kind of reverting last year back to some of his negative tendencies. And while, I think Josh Allen, he's he's good on his own, of course. I'm not saying it's all Dable, but clearly there was a lot of concerns with Josh Allen, and Dable did a fantastic job getting him to be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. And you saw that last year, like just making those boneheaded decisions that he likes to make. He likes to try to force things, and he just, I don't know, man, he does silly shit. And we saw a lot of that last year. And I think I'm really hoping to see more of it this year. Oh, 100%. And so, but I don't think Daniel Jones is Josh Allen. I just don't. No. And yeah. So again, I tend to think I agree with you. I like how you said that. It'd be a masterful coaching job. While the Giants are talented, they're good. They're going to be a good team. I don't see them getting past the Eagles in their own division, quite frankly.
Or so the Cowboys, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, and now speaking of the Cowboys, don't forget, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers' chip. Mike McCarthy's the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I know. And don't forget, Aaron Rodgers all but got Mike McCarthy fired from the Packers. So there's a little bit of something there, too. Going down to Dallas, make him pay. I'm sure McCarthy's going to want to make him pay, too. But we already know Aaron Rodgers has the chops with that sort of thing. And I think we're going to go down to Dallas and beat the living shit out of them, too. What do you think about that?
Oh, I know that for a fact. I have no concerns about playing the freaking Dallas Cowboys. I think that defensive line is going to get after Dak Prescott and make him uncomfortable. He's never felt pressure like this before, and he's going to have to deal with it when he plays us. I see turnovers happening from Dak. After CeeDee Lamb, I mean, honestly, after CeeDee Lamb, I don't really see a lot of threats, right? Tony Pollard, I'm a fan of, but, is he really the home run hitter that everybody's saying that's going to become the next Zeke in his prime? Like, I don't see it. That offensive line has also gotten significantly older. There's just so many things lined up for that game. I think Dak Prescott is the biggest fraud to ever play the position of quarterback. I don't understand the hype. I don't understand the appeal. This is a guy behind one of the most elite offensive lines in football, has never been able to go ahead and perform when it mattered most. He continues to regress, it seems like, fights get better. Like the last year, you fire your offensive coordinator that helped y'all lead the league in scoring when your quarterback was throwing interceptions left and right. I don't think you understand how hard that is to have an effective offense when your quarterback decides throwing interceptions is fun for him to do. Like, I'm looking forward to that game. And as of right now, I'll be there as well, too. So that's going to make it even more fun. But, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have fun with that one. He's petty, man. I keep telling people like, yo, Aaron Rodgers is a petty, narcissistic individual. And those are things that I love in my quarterback, because that means given any opportunity to go ahead and get a little bit of revenge or sting it to somebody that he felt has done him wrong in any way, he'll take it. We saw him do it to the entire NFL and the Green Bay Packers organization when they drafted Jordan Love, vice getting him more help to go into the next stage of the playoffs after that season. That was crazy to me. So I'm ecstatic. I really love the version of Aaron Rodgers that we got right now. I think the angrier he is, the better. I know some people don't focus well when they're angry and they make mistakes. Not Aaron Rodgers. He gets angry and he becomes like laser focused. He becomes a surgeon in how he operates. And I'm 100% on board with making them as angry as possible.
Yeah, that's right, man. Piss him off. I want to see it. Right. We saw it in the Giants game too. You know, in that little clip.
Exactly.
He was pissed off. I don't even know who you are, bro. I don't even know who you are, bro.
Let me show you, little man.
That's right. Here's who I am. So look, Fierce Grim, I believe it was, in the chat, brought something up, and I haven't seen this yet. This is Woody Johnson's Twitter. I'm going to share this with you. There's something Woody released today, or 9 hours ago. So that's today. So with Bart Scott. So let's check this out real quick and see what this clip's all about. Make sure the sound's on here. All right. Let's see what Bart Scott is saying on Woody Johnson's Twitter real quick.
Monday night. Listen, hold on. This is what I'm trying to say. If you're going to miss September 11th, right? You understand the sentimental, everything that means, right? But you got Monday night but you got Monday night again against the Superchargers. That could be a matchup that we're going to go against later in the season. This could be a playoff matchup. You're talking about you got A Rizzle, you know what I'm saying, going against, Herbert just got that cheese on his taco. Like, come on, man. This is a no-brainer. At least 2 tickets. Come on, man. You're making me beg, man. I don't bet, but you're making me beg. I'm going to beg because you want me to bet. I tell you what, we'll get you a seat right next to Method Man. How about that? I'll tell you what, you think about it, because I think you got more. I think you got more wiggle room than you think, man. You got blood. You can donate blood, so all kind of stuff. Right? Listen, I expect the call later. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, you think that it's expensive. But by November 6th, it's going to be a discount because it's going to be going exactly how we expect it to go. You're going to wish that you were in the building. Could you imagine what it was like
That's so
to be
cool.
in the Garden when the Knicks was winning a championship and they were on that run? You want to miss out on history? You can say you watching on TV. That don't mean you can't feel that.
That don't mean
All right, man. I'm telling you. Last warning, but I tell you what, man. All right, man. You need to go tell 2 of your friends that you don't like them no more and start an argument just like you do with your girl before Valentine's Day. So you can find them. And then that way you can come back. That way you can go to November 6th and the 24th. All right, bro. I'm going to hand you back. Huh? He's all yours.
He's primed and ready.
Now that's how to sell some tickets, man. Holy shit.
That was awesome.
Now, real quick, let's take a look at this. When I saw this, Woody's saying that Monday night's going to be like this or louder. Oh, dude.
Louder. I say it's going to be louder.
That was the Chicago game, wasn't it, I think?
Yep.
Interesting. Wow, okay, that's loud. That's loud even over here. Holy shit.
I like that.
That's gorgeous, man.
It's going to be louder.
Gorgeous stuff. Now, just so you know, that game that Bart Scott was talking about, everybody, the November 6th Monday night game against the Chargers, that is the Talking Jets meetup that we're having Monday night. We're all getting together. Finnegan's flying in, Jeremy's flying in, and we're going to have a whole cast of characters, Matt O'Leary, Ryan, myself, and we're going to have a good time. We have on-field access. We're hanging out with Tailgate Joe. which, by the way, was invited. I don't know what year this was, but Emeril Lagasse, the world famous chef, had a series about tailgating with all the great tailgaters around the country of each team. And Tailgate Joe was the tailgate group that he brought on because of their known excellence in cuisine. They win awards all the time, Tailgate Joe. So if you want to have the best tailgate, the best Monday night experience, you might want to jump in. The link to talkingjets.com is in the description. That's where the tickets are for sale, the ticket packages. But again, it's real nice and easy. talkingjets.com. Go to the website, get in on that with us. Like he said, right now it seems like it's light years away, but at the time when we're rocking and rolling and we're heading into that game with a Monday night showdown against Herbert and the Chargers, it's going to be the hottest ticket that you can get, and you're going to be wishing that you bought in. So come and hang out with us. There are still some tickets left. I think I think it's a dozen, tops 10 or 12 left for the group. So if you want to get in, come and join us. We'd love to have you, man. It's going to be a great time. It's the first time I'm going to be at a Monday night game that I can remember, dude. I mean, the last Monday night I remember in my brain is the Monday Night Miracle. So, I mean, I feel like I've been to Monday night since, but I can't remember. So it's been a long time, dude. And I've never been at a Monday night in MetLife with the stadium all, decked out in the green lights and everything. At night is when the stadium actually looks cool. During the day, it's kind of leaves a little bit bland. But at night, when the whole thing is lit up on the outside green, that's an exciting thing to see. And I'm excited to do it, and I can't wait to experience it. I hope you guys listen to Bart Scott and join us for that Monday night. So what else we got here, Gunny? There's some Modine shit going. Hey, Modine, real quick, I wanted to ask you a question. You say you love Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff. Realistically, you think that if the Jets played the Giants in the Super Bowl, like Talking Packers, what Stevie said, I want to see Mo's opinion here. You think the Jets win it? Can you find that in yourself? I know you're a kind of a downer. You're a grumpy grumpkin. But do you see the Jets winning that game if the Jets and Giants played in the Super Bowl? Let me know what you think. And we'll get to Daniel Murphy's super chat here. Thank you, Daniel. He says, assuming we're taking it easy on Brees, which back we using on goal line situations, Gunny? What do you think of that one?
So is Brees not I can't use Brees? This is if I.
Well, he's saying assuming we take it easy on Brees. Let's say we're feathering him in lightly and we don't want to use him in those situations. Who do you think we're going to turn to if it's not Brees Hall?
Well, I at that point we don't have any backs really that's known for pushing a defensive lineman into the end zone, but we do have a guy who consistently makes the first tackler miss in Michael Carter. I think if you're using the running back to get into the end zone, I think Michael Carter gives you the best chance. He's little, he's tiny, he can get behind a blocker and make a guy miss if they gets back there, right? He can get to the end zone. But if we're talking about a back on and we're planning on just throwing off the defense and getting a pass out there, then it's of course Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook would be the individual you give that to. But I think ultimately if Brees is healthy, Brees is him. Like we saw Brees freaking carry two defenders into the freaking end zone last year. We saw him carry Braxton Berrios and friends to the 1 yard line, you know what I'm saying, from like the 15. Like he's that dude. He's physical. He's got the size for it. He's got the desire for it. He has a nose for the end zone. So if Brees is an option, it's 100% Brees. If he's not, I think if you're trying to run it in, you go with Michael Carter because I think you put him behind ABT and Mekhi Becton. He's so tiny. He can go ahead and take advantage of that, and he's going to make the first guy miss. But if it's a little play action, you know what I'm saying, then you got to go with Dalvin Cook. Yeah,
and we saw Michael Carter utilized in that role last year. The first half of the season, Brees kept getting us down to the 1 yard line.
Yep.
Remember that?
Michael Carter would get
Michael Carter would get the nod and get us in the end zone. So I could see that too. But I gotta say, I feel like Dalvin Cook might be the closer to the sure thing there. You want to give it to the guy you're most confident with. I think it's an interesting question. I could go either way on that one. The one I wouldn't give it to is Israel Abanikanda.
I would not give it to Izzy.
That's not where I want to use him. I want him to break it open and take it home. You know what I mean? From far away. That's what I want to see.
Home run guy.
Home run, maybe.
Guy. Yeah.
Right. So that's a good question, Daniel. Now, I want to just point out that with my question to Modine, I want everybody to remember this. I made him say something positive here. You see what I did, Gunny? He says, if the Jets get to the Super Bowl, it means the team met expectations. Without knowing how the Giants ended the game, I would favor the Jets. Look at that. I made Modine say something positive about the Jets.
That's magical right there.
Yeah. See that? It's a historic moment in Thursday Thick of It history.
We got you, Mo. We got you.
But that's good. And I think
Mose, I was tricked.
That was a setup. Well, honestly, I thought he would say Dable this, or I thought he was going to go that route. But I did have my little secret hope. So you see it, everybody. I tricked him. I made him say something nice about the Jets. He struggles with that. Even while professing his love for Aaron Rodgers in a chat I saw earlier, he still threw in a negative jibe there. So you know how he is. But look at this. It's right there for all to see. Midnight Mike. What's up, Midnight Mike Show? He says, where do I buy tickets to the group game? It's on talkingjets.com. The link is actually in the description of this video if you want to make it easy. But you can just, go to and type in talkingjets.com. It'll take you there. It's on the front page. As a matter of fact, let me show you what it looks like, everybody. This is what it looks like when you go to talkingjets.com. So I'll show you right now. It's real simple.
Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's not. So here's what it looks like when you get on the page. There we are. That's Matt Ryan and little old man GreenBean. The monkey makes me look even older, Gunny. I don't know how they did that. I said, man, I tell you, I don't know how you did it, but so look, it's right here, Midnight Mike, and you see the two packages. We have the all-in. That's the all-inclusive. That comes with everything. But we're also offering the tailgate for people who maybe have tickets. And, a lot of people, you set up a small tailgate or sometimes people just go in. There's the option to just tailgate with us as well. That's only $65. This one, what does it come with? Let me show you what it comes with here. We are stronger together, right? So you get a ticket. Now, 340 is 50-yard line upper level. So those are awesome seats. You get an admission to the Tailgate Joe. With all the food, beverages, music, and games that, there's the whole game thing. We have our own tent too in Tailgate Joe's setup. So we'll be with everybody, but we have our own designated area. You'll see our flags and all that kind of shit. It's going to be fun. Pre-game access to MetLife's field. And you'll also get a Talking Jets shirt. And everybody who buys a ticket, you also get 5 entries into our jersey giveaway as well. So parking is not included. That's the thing with this friggin' stadium. That's my rub with MetLife, man. The parking passes. I don't like their system, but that's unavoidable. But anyway, there it is. And then again, you have the you have just the tailgate only for $65. So that if you already have your tickets, you got you and your wife or you and your kid are going to the game or what have you. You're just looking for something a place to hang. You don't really want to bring a grill and everything. Come hang out with us anyway. You can do that. That'll be a blast. We'd love to have you there as well. So there you go, Midnight Mike, right there, talkingjets.com. So, all right, man. What else we got? We were talking about Monday night predictions, Gunny. What do you think? Let me ask you this. If the Jets win the toss, if you're the coach, which unit you sending out first?
Defense. Because they're about to get us the ball back anyway.
I like that. I like that, man.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, let's get Aaron Rodgers out." Nah, we're good. Defense.
Yeah,
we'll give Aaron Rodgers the ball again in the second half. After he takes us down to score with like 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Hey, congratulations, you're hot. You get the ball right back again in the third. So yeah, I'm going defense. Go get the ball real quick.
Yeah, what's funny? I was actually thinking along the lines of there's a lot of Jets fans that just want, they just run Aaron Rodgers on the field right from the get-go. And I get that. I do. And I was leaning that way. But I do think that it's probably a better move to send the defense out. Number one, they're the more established group, right? We already know what they are for the most part. We already know how well they play the Bills. So, there's the potential, like Gunny said, that you send them out, and there's a real good opportunity there for an up and 3, down and 3, one first down, but ultimately stopping them. Fumble, right? Bryce Huff, strip sack, whatever it might be. But you get the ball back, and then it's like in the second half, no matter what happened in the first half, that is just such a valuable thing to have, getting the ball for the opening of the second half. And so I think that's the way to do it. You run your more established, the identity of the team. Really, even though Aaron Rodgers is the face of the team, the identity of the team is our defense. We don't know what our offense is as of yet. So run the defensive unit out there. Let them go feast upon Josh Allen, and hopefully stop him right away. And then you get Aaron Rodgers after the momentum of a defensive stop, and then you can see the difference between this team and last year's team, where our defense provided many stops for us. Exciting stops, fumbles, all kinds of shit, sacks on third down. And then Zach runs out, we give him the ball right back. You know what I mean? So that would change everything. If we go out there, we stop them on the first drive and score on our first drive, that might be insurmountable with the energy that's going to be in MetLife. And then knowing that we're going to get it in the second half when we've already kind of jumped and stepped on their first half advantage, that would be something to behold, in my opinion.
I'm going to predict that it's going to be defense on the field first, and there's going to be a turnover. Whether it's an interception or a fumble, I don't know for sure, but there's going to be a turnover, giving us incredible field position. And you're going to see Aaron Rodgers dominate the way he did when he had freaking Nathaniel Hackett as his OC, getting all those not the red zone, the gold zone freaking plays together. Remember, he operated the gold zone offense, 100% him. He designed them, he created the plays, and then they implemented those. The Packers had one of the most efficient red zone offenses in the NFL for those 2 seasons. I think we give the ball to Aaron Rodgers in his comfort zone, and then he scores. That's how I think the opening is going to go ahead and come out. A defensive turnover, Aaron Rodgers in the gold zone. Does what he does best.
All right, who's the first if that scenario takes place, who's the first touchdown going to?
Tyler Conklin. Yep, I think it's Conklin.
Interesting. Now, I want to pay some homage to the producer of the show right now. I want to bring I saw all during the show, you guys don't know this, but Jets Lounge Chaos has been in a construction project of sorts, all behind the scenes. It's amazing. I'm so curious to see the results. It's been incredible to observe. He's been hanging stuff, moving things, moving furniture. He's I think I saw a hammer. I don't know what's going on, but it looks totally different than what he started with. So I want to bring him on. I'll bring Jeremy on for a little bit, and I want to get his take on this first opening series thing too. But let's take a look at the new Jets Lounge. What the hell did he do? Let's see. What is that? Is that just a green screen or what's going on? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
You're muted, brother.
I was combining 2 different, whatever you want to call them, stands, and having to readjust the piping to get it really high to make it that I can cover the whole background with a green screen. So now I can get something in rather than, I'm fed up with it all. So I'm just
yeah, I saw you hanging the green screen. So all right, there it is. So that's what that is. I couldn't tell if you hung up, some sort of background that looked like the Jets.
I was gonna lie and tell everyone I got and ordered the actual same backdrop that they use for the press conferences, and that I built it, hammered it.
Well, it would be a hard sell. So the bottom right of the screen, your left, you can see a little green screeny.
Yeah. It's so hard.
That's the thing with green. You can't trust them.
You can't.
You can't trust them. You'd love to just be able to do that, but you can't. You move real quick, and then there's a black circle around your head or some shit. So Jeremy, Gunny's a fan of throwing the defense out there. If we win the toss, we defer. How do you feel about that? Do you agree, or are you on the side of running Aaron Rodgers out there first?
I like what Gunny's saying. I like the idea of coming out with the defense. I feel like there's less pressure. I feel like it's a good way to get the momentum of the game. I really do. And then, of course, setting us up. I always love having the ball in the second half.
Same here.
When you don't know why. Yeah, when you don't know what the situation of the game is going to be, if you're losing, at least we get the ball.
If you're the lead, you get to add to it.
Yeah, the worst is to be the team that they have the ball at the end of the first half, and they're getting the ball back in the second half. Yeah, I hate that.
Demoralizing.
But also because as much as I love Aaron Rodgers on this offense, and as much as I could see the growth of this offense, the reality is we're much more proven and much more stable right now as far as when we talk about continuity of our team on the defensive side. That's where we have continuity. That's where we're coming back third year in the system, that same coaches, same system. I mean, that's the safer bet to come and get the crowd fired up, get a sack or something, force them to punt right away. Like, if we can do that, we could really set the tone for the game.
And you think about it, it's another way to go ahead and throw them off the game, right? Like, then you start playing, they have to play from behind. And our defensive line really didn't get a chance to enjoy that last year. To be able to go ahead and just pin their ears back and go eat. Like, imagine how Josh Allen would be frustrated knowing, like, these guys are coming. We're down 2 scores, and I've got to get us in the end zone. Rushing game ain't going to get it done. So that to me, I think, puts us in a position to where we can really start running away with the game, especially if we go ahead and turn that first turnover into a score.
Yeah. Now, I want to point out Twisted's comment here. This is beautiful. What Jeremy's really been working on is making his microphone look like a whopper. Oh, that's so good, dude. That's Twisted, man. That's brilliant, buddy. I love it. So let's bring Finnegan on too. We got a few minutes left in the show here. The game is still on, of course, but we're having some fun alongside of Game 1 of the 2023 NFL season here. The Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. We're having a little bit of fun. Let's bring Finnegan on and get his take. He's always got interesting takes here. Finnegan, from the Finnegan Report. There he is. What's up, buddy? So
how's it going?
Are you in agreement? You're a fan of throwing the defense out there? What do you think?
Yeah, well, last night in our Beanbaggers Zoom call, I kind of brought up the point of, you always want the biggest and meanest guys off the bus first. That's how I see who you want on the field first. Like, I want to set the tone that, hey, as Salah said, hey, we want to fuck you up. Like, that's the kind of tone I want to set right away.
I like that too. You want your biggest, meanest, nastiest, ugliest son of a bitch off the bus first. Let them see him. You send the defense out there.
Think about the level of confidence it puts in those guys too, that Salah having the option, and he's not putting the great Aaron Rodgers out there first. He's like, hey, y'all go set the tone, right? Sending those guys out there.
Right.
That also, I think, takes him to another level in terms of mindset. Like, hey, listen, I know we got Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback, but you guys go ahead and set the tone for the game. Come on, man. Like, you couldn't script it better for these guys to go out there and really try to eat. Like, it just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense.
Yeah, I agree. Modine likes your background. He says it should say Pats. I thought it should say 49ers. That's right there. Jeremy's kind of he's let that go a little
disrespect.
I'm never going to live that down.
Yeah, 49ers chaos. Remember that shit, everybody? So look at this one. So here's an interesting one. Where did it go? I just lost it. It just kind of refreshed. Shit. Oh, man, where's that comment? I want to see.
Well said, Alan.
Let me see. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So now Gunny said first touch. So let's say we go out there, we stuff them, or we get a fumble right in the red zone. The stadium's just crumbling to pieces. All the fucking everybody's jumping up and down. But we're in the gold zone. He predicts Aaron Rodgers to Conklin. Finnegan, what do you see? JMG saying G-Dub breaks away for a touchdown, and Brees pops, right behind AVT and Becton. What do you see as that first touchdown?
I really like maybe like a bootleg out to like Randall Cobb. Just slips under behind the linebackers, and kind of think he wants, maybe Cobb or Lazard to get that first touchdown.
You think? That's an interesting take. I could see that. wanting to make sure everybody knows that his boy still got some juice. Yeah, all right, Jeremy, what do you think about that? When you think, maybe it's more like what JMG's saying, where we get a standard drive in there, and G-Dubs breaks past the defense like we've seen him do so many times already, and gets us down there, or you think it'll be Conklin or maybe Cobby? What do you see happening if it's our first touchdown from Aaron Rodgers? What do you see taking place?
Well, I'm so blinded by greed of money that I can't see it or visualize it any other way than Conklin or Jeremy Ruckert, because I took advantage of that promotion and opened up. And I did it for my wife too. And for both of my bets, my bet was Conklin. I win $1,000 if Conklin scores the first touchdown of the game. And my wife, when I set up her account, I had her take Ruckert, because if some weird reason they do a trick play to Jeremy Ruckert or something, $3,300 goes into my pocket, plus the jerseys that we're already getting. So,
who did you get?
You got Conklin.
I got Jermaine Johnson, the throwback vintage,
Gotcha.
and my wife hasn't picked yet because she's shopping.
Yeah, I tried to do that, and then they were like, "Nah, you're in Texas. You're not qualified." And I was like,
"Yeah,
bastards."
I got the Legacy Rodgers jersey.
I don't qualify from California. Later on, I'll tell you how to do it, Gunny.
Oh, yeah, let's talk then.
So let me just tell everybody what they're talking about right now, okay? I'm pinning a link to the top of the chat. Everybody pay attention. Stop looking at the halftime show for a second and look at this. I'm pinning a message, a chat in the chat box. What they're talking about is this. There is an amazing opportunity for a jersey giveaway kind of a thing being pushed by JetX, right? Our friends at JetX Factor. You go to the link. So what you got to do is there's a little betting thing that they have. So you have to sign up for PointsBet, and you have to bet $50 on a negative 500 or greater odds bet, right? So the one that Jeremy's talking about is that Conklin will score the first touchdown or some shit, and he wins $1,000 on that $50 bet. But that's not even the deal. You got to take a bet, so obviously it'd be great to win the bet. But if you put that $50 down, they will send you through email a link for a $150 credit at fanatics.com for a jersey. Now, Jets jerseys on fanatics.com are pretty much, what, they 130? And then and then there's
plus the shipping, so it works out exactly.
My shipping was free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Normally, though, it'd be 150.
Yeah, it would be. But right now they're doing a promotion. If you spend more than 120, I think it is, you get free shipping.
Yep.
Right.
So think about that. So if you spend more than 120, the shipping is free, and you're getting $150 from PointsBet. So I was hesitant. Jeremy texted me. It was like midnight or whatever the fuck it was. I was like, dude, the guy's in California. He knows I go to bed at 9 o'clock. He's like, dude, I got to tell you. Oh, he was calling me. I'm like, what's up? Are you okay? Right? I'm like, what's up?
You think it's an emergency?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, dude, I want to make sure you don't miss out on this jersey. Everybody's doing it, he says. Everybody's doing it. I'm like, well, as soon as somebody, just in my world, when everybody's doing it, I go, whoa, what's everybody doing? I don't want to do it.
Jumping off no bridge, bro.
Exactly right, everybody's doing it, man. That's how I got into this fucking problem of being a drug addict. Everybody's doing it. Try this. Oh, yeah, what's that? Everybody's doing it. Okay, must be safe. Oh, shit. Where'd everybody go? Why am I alone? That's how it worked out for me. So, but the jersey giveaway is legit, man. Like, I looked at, I watched from afar for 2 days. And it was like I saw Dom C doing it. Obviously, Jeremy was doing it. And then it was like in the Beanbagger chat, it was like everybody was doing it. They were sharing the code. They're like, dude, I just got my code. I picked this jersey. There was this whole dialogue going on. It was like 10, 12 people. And I'm like, holy shit, this might actually be real. And then I did it. Now, I'll tell you, just for, transparency, I am a gambling addict and I don't gamble, right? I don't. Now, I checked with some people. I said my motives are just to get this jersey. I do have to take a bet. I checked it all out. But it's a funny thing. So I did make a bet, my first official bet in it's like 19 years almost, right? So that I haven't made a bet. So I made my first bet, but only to get a jersey. But my bet is I can win $1,500 on this damn bet. So my bet is if Garrett Wilson scores the first touchdown and the Jets win, I win $1,500.
Great one. That's a great
Isn't that a great bet?
That's
That's
a great bet.
Because while I'm all about Conklin and I can see what Finnegan's saying, my thought is this. And this is what I really want. I don't give a shit. If it's Conklin, if it's fucking Gibson, I really don't give a shit who scores the first touchdown. That's the honest truth. I don't care. It could be anybody. But what I want to see is the Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson connection start right away. I think I have a sneaking suspicion if the first time we saw our offense with Aaron Rodgers is any indicator, that's what the Jets want too. They designed that wide receiver screen. The first play of Aaron Rodgers as a Jet was a wide receiver screen to Garrett Wilson. He got 13 yards on it and the face mask. So the whole thing. And then we saw the touchdown later. But I think my bet is going to make me gamble. That's what I really think. I'm in big trouble because let me tell you something. I was like,
it's like a Pringle. You can't just have one.
I was like scrolling. I'm like, oh shit. Look at that one. What have I thrown?
I was making all kind of rules that I said you got to have your wife watch the account. She has to have full access.
He did. He was all worried.
I was like,
so what you're telling me? If you fall off the gambling wagon, it's chaos fault.
100%. Even though he definitely did what he just said. He gave all sorts of parameters. He was a Jewish grandmother, right? He was all right, you can do it, but we got to do this and that. And then he did that. He showed a high level of concern and care. But ultimately, it would still be his fault. No doubt.
That's fair.
It's like somebody offering you crack and go, now listen, you never go buy it without me. It's still crack. You know what I mean? Crack's got its own potency, man. So anyway, I think the Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson thing is a very realistic first touchdown for the New York Jets. And the betting aside, I really would like to see that start in this game. I want to see Garrett Wilson become what Garrett Wilson can become. He is the best wide receiver we've had here in a long time. Now you can talk about Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker and those guys from. You see that? That's a bug on my camera.
What was that?
Crawling as I watched him crawl across the screen. I was going to smash him. I said, whatever. And then he gets on the damn fucking camera. We're right over the camera button. But yeah, I lost my train of thought, but I want to see, Garrett Wilson. I think that his potential is through the roof. Again, he could arguably be already the best wide receiver that we've drafted since Keyshawn Johnson. I mean, I think he is that, and he could supersede whatever. I mean, they're very, very different players, of course. But Keyshawn was a stud. He was a force for us. Him and Corbett together were an unbelievable combo. And dude, you guys remember how willing, like they were ferocious blockers for each other. Like they were just, they were unbelievable. But so Garrett Wilson can be everything that we've ever wanted. And I'd like to see that start right away. Put the league on notice. Aaron Rodgers to G-Dubs is going to be a problem for everybody. So I'd like to see that start right away. And little old GreenBean will take 1,500 away from the party. JMG checking in with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. He says, how much time do you guys predict the O-line gives A-Rod this season? 3.94 to 4.25 seconds? All right. Well, that's good. Finnegan, I'll throw it to you. You're a stats guy. So what do you think realistically? I mean, our offensive line has some question marks, right? We have a lot of potential. They could be great this year, but question marks up and down. Dwayne Brown hasn't played yet, right? He's coming off the injury. Becton's on the right side for the first time. ABT hasn't finished the season yet. Connor McGovern's in the middle. He's been solid for us, but still, what do you think? Laken Tomlinson was a very big disappointment last year. So what do you see from the offensive line? We giving Aaron Rodgers all kinds of time, or is Aaron Rodgers saving the offensive line with quick release? How do you see it?
I think it'll be a lot of quick release. I mean, he's made a career off that of just, linebacker bites down, throws it right over top. And we don't really, at least what I've seen with Hackett when he was in Green Bay, obviously he wasn't calling the plays, but they didn't have a lot of long developing plays. They kind of just worked their way down the field, ran the ball, and took advantage when you made a mistake. So I don't think it's as important to have, 4 or 5 seconds of him standing back there in a clean pocket.
Yeah. And that's the difference. He can identify it. He can see it. Where Zach Wilson, we saw Sammy Darnold with the ghost thing, that we know what that was blown out of proportion, of course, but still it's representative of feeling pressure that might not even be there and, getting nervous and running out of the pocket, and all that. We saw plenty of that with Zach. Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to identify if it's real, number one. Number two, if it's actually happening, get rid of the ball. We're going to see a lot more of that. So I think he's going to save some offensive line in the same way that you just pointed out. Jeremy, what do you think of that one? You think the offensive line is going to be able to hold, or do you think they'll need to be bailed out?
I think it'll be a combination on different plays, but I will say, because even if you average a great number, that doesn't mean that every rep, right? There are going to be reps where they lose, but we're going to have the luxury of a veteran like Aaron Rodgers. But I will say that 3.94 to 4.25, if our offensive line on average gives Aaron Rodgers over 3.9 seconds per rep to pass the ball, we're going over 30 points a game as an average.
Yeah.
Right.
Without
question, we're unstoppable.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I think the potential is there. I really do. Especially with Aaron Rodgers' propensity to not allow shit. You know what I mean? Like, buddy. No way. I'm not going to be getting beat up because you can't hold your damn guy. Like, that sort of stuff's going to be in effect, I think. I think he's going to expect and hold them to a standard that, no more Greg Van Roten stuff where we just keep him out there. He's literally a turnstile, and that's our guy. So we just roll with him all year, no matter, even though he's not doing his job. Gunny, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I think last year there was something that came out that said the best quarterbacks in the NFL take on average less than 3 seconds in the pocket to get rid of the ball, right? I think that helps out a lot in terms of those offensive lines. If you look at the individual quarterbacks who had fast releases, get the ball out of their hands quickly, they tend to have O-linemen who are in the Pro Bowl because they didn't allow any pressures or any sacks or anything like that. I think Aaron Rodgers brings that to the table for us. 3.94 to 4.4. That's a long time. Like 3.94 to 4.25 seconds is a very, very long time back there. And if that's the case, just throw the ball away because that means there's nobody open downfield. I don't think that's going to be the case here for the guys like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook coming out of the backfield, Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzomah. Like, you've got too many guys who can go ahead and create separation. If he's back there more than 3 seconds, I think the smart play is just get rid of the ball. You don't need to go or use your legs. You know what I'm saying? I know he's up there in age, but he's still got a little bit of wiggle to him. Use your legs, pick up what you can, get down. But I expect this offensive line to give Aaron Rodgers those 3 seconds. And I don't think he's going to need all of that. I think 2.5 to 2.75 is going to be the average.
The league average is 3 seconds.
Is it?
Right?
Okay, that's why I feel.
Yeah,
It's like
so
3
that's
seconds
the average. But
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I'll let you talk in a second, Finnegan. But it's I think we don't need 4.25 seconds.
Nah.
Now if we're getting that,
That's great.
Yeah.
no, wonderful.
But it's concerning. That means we're not getting open.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, there's that too. What do you got, Finnegan?
So I looked it up for just last year. So for Rodgers, the average time to throw in the pocket between snap and throwing it, or when the pocket collapses, last year's 2.4 seconds.
Yeah.
So that was him last year. He's pressured on 18% of his dropbacks.
People, so I was saying this the other day. People are going to realize, because Jordan Love is not as quick. Jordan Love, I've watched in the preseason and whatnot, he tends to scan the field. He's in that 2.9 to 3.2 second range. We're going to see a change in dynamic in terms of the quality of the Green Bay Packers offensive line. Not that it's going to be bad, but it's not going to be considered one of the top O-lines if he's taking that kind of time back to throw the ball. Because a quarterback who can get rid of the ball so quickly makes the O-line look that much better because they're able to go ahead and no pressures, no sacks, all that adds up. So for me, I think Aaron Rodgers is. I mean, because Jameis Winston, the perfect case, Jameis Winston was one of the highly sacked quarterbacks in the NFL the year before Tom Brady got there. Tom Brady got there, and apparently the difference in terms of time to get rid of the ball was almost 0.57 seconds. That was the difference in terms of from one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL by the O-line to one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL by the same O-line. That does make a difference, and I think that that's truly undervalued. But yeah, I'm thank you, Finnegan. 2.4 seconds, plenty. that's all we need for the guy to have to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, I agree, man. Wait, hold on. Well, number one, Daniel Murphy. There you go, buddy. You're locked in with me, man. We got the same bet. Daniel Murphy got his jersey in the mail. Now, Jet Freely, you're talking about Jetnation, Pat's Fan Texas, right? I remember that guy. That guy was a butthole. Is that what you're saying Modine is? Modine's Pat's Fan Texas? That's so good. That's a good pull, Jet Freely. I like that. Let me see here. Now, I have to admit, I forgot real quickly. I forgot about the sponsors, so I'm going to block some face real quick. I forgot to do the commercial. So I just want to remind you real quick. I won't do the full commercial, and I'll put the link in the description or in the chat right now for you can get right now. Guys, as you know, Testosil is sponsoring GreenBean right now, and you can get a $10 off and a free bottle for all GreenBean viewers if you use the link and or promo code that is coming in the chat right now. What the hell's happening here? Hold on. Let me pin this up top. It's not letting me replace pin message. There it is. So, again, if you're looking for a testosterone boost like old man Bean is, Testosil is a great option, all natural. And, again, $10 off plus a free bottle. And if you buy 2 bottles, you get 2 free bottles, which is amazing. And if you don't like it, full money back guarantee. There you go. Testosil. The link is now pinned to the top of the chat. And thank you for that. So that's about it for our show, everybody. It is now 10 p.m. I have to go to bed. As you guys know, I get up on the earlier side of things over here. So I just want to make a note that this is the last Thursday thick of it without Jets football. And I couldn't be happier about that shit, man. I could not be happier. We will have the opportunity to have live Thursday thick of it alongside of the game. So we'll combine the game stream into the Thursday thick of it. We'll all be together for that, unless you don't want to, like Gunny and Finnegan or whatever. If you're like, I can't be live when we're watching the game, I make too many foolish comments, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I'm watching my verbiage quite a bit right now, and if it was a Jets game on, it's significantly worse.
I know. I got loose for a few minutes there during the gambling rant, and I got yelled at by Fungus Among Us in the chat. Thank you for keeping me in check, buddy. But anyway, real quick, Gunny, you got anything coming up that you want to tell anybody about?
Yeah. Football is back, right? So officially my off season is over as well. Dropping videos weekly. I already dropped my New York Jets prediction video. Why I think the Jets are going to go ahead and get this W. What my score prediction is as well. That dropped right before the show earlier today, so feel free to check that out. And yeah, I'm doing giveaways again, man, because so I was able to go ahead and get another sponsorship for this season from Semper Gumby Consulting and Bash Babe Events. So I got some cool autographed memorabilia to be handing out to Jets fans again, like I did last year. So make sure you're tracking me on social media as well as my YouTube channel. And shout out to my fellow New York Jets Fantasy Football League subscribers. I know Dark Soldier is there. K Yeti's here. I don't know if I saw anybody else. We had our draft. It was a good time. The winner gets a Sauce Gardner autographed jersey, so they're all excited about that. I plan on trying to win it because I'm competitive.
Right.
But it's out there, so I wanted to go ahead and give those guys a shout out and thank them for joining me again in the Fantasy Football League this year. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Off season is over, which means I'm back to work.
That's right. Well done. That's exciting stuff, man. Jeremy, what do you got cooking?
Well, episode 8 of the series me and my brother have been releasing will come out tomorrow. We've been releasing one episode every day, rating the different rooms for the New York Jets this season. So look out for episode 8. It'll be out tomorrow morning, first thing. Sunday night I'll be back on usual Sunday night spot at 9 p.m. And then I'm excited to say I'll be with GreenBean doing the reaction party, not from here, but from Portland with my brother, which we've done in the past, the Pittsburgh game. And it was like, it was a lot of fun. So that's where I'll be for that game. So I'm really excited about the Monday Night Football. It's the first time we've ever done that, a reaction party.
It's the first time we've ever done it. So it's a great nod. I want to point out real quick, Crossfire ended the show with 5 gifted Talking Jets OnlyFans subscriptions or memberships, I should say. Yeah, Crossfire, you're the man. Merry Christmas. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we have Daniel Murphy got one, Gerbo Photius got one, Squirmy Weasel, Eric Craig, and DLB One Jets Arm. You are now Talking Jets OnlyFans members. Congratulations, and thank you to Crossfire. You are the man, dude. I will add, too, Crossfire donated 2 tickets to the Talking Jets meetup on November 6th. We'll be giving those away. I think it was October 3rd. I think it's October 2nd, something like that. So Crossfire's the man, dude. He's been taking care of Jets fans all season, all off season, I should say. And I'm grateful for that. And if you guys get the opportunity, throw some love Crossfire's way. He deserves it, man. But yeah, I want to remind everybody that Monday night we will be here live on Talking Jets. Jeremy, Finnegan, myself, and we'll watch our first Monday night game in 100 years. It feels like together, opening day of the New York Jets 2023 season, right here on Talking Jets. And with that all, Finnegan, you got anything you want to throw out to anybody?
More of just a message to everybody being, I mentioned last night in the Discord call, just everybody needs to soak up this season. Like all the stuff we've been through, all the harassment you've got from other fans. Just enjoy it. Don't worry about dead cap in 2025, not having a first round draft pick. Just enjoy this season.
So good.
Everybody deserves this season.
Yeah, that's well put.
So,
yeah, man. I know you hear that shit. You're like, he's a great player, but in 3 years, we're come on. Yeah, that's so great.
Can't be bothered.
That's so
right
great.
now.
Well said, Finnegan. There he goes, showing some wisdom straight from Iowa. There it goes. He's one of the 2 Iowan Jets fans. Both are our good friends here on the Thursday Thick of It. Before I go, I want to point out nobody even commented on my amazing shirt today. If you're old enough to know what this is, it's brilliant. This is my favorite shirt that I've ever bought at a concert. I'll leave it there. I don't have to tell anybody what. If you don't know, you don't know. If you do, you do. But anyway, with that all said, guys, football is back. Allow yourself to be excited, like Finnegan said. Shake off the bullshit and enjoy. We're going to have some fun this year. Everybody have a great night. We will see you next time.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets, Jets.